Thank you, Bob, very much, and good evening, everyone. I really am delighted to join all of you for this celebration of the 40th anniversary of IREX, an institution for which I have enormous admiration. I'm also honored to be here among so many people I admire. Eva Spolin, IREX's board chair, has always been a model for me of American career diplomats at their best. Bob Pearson, your new president, has been a friend for many years and has made remarkable contributions to the Foreign Service as Ambassador to Turkey and Director General, among many other posts. I know Bob will make similarly remarkable contributions to IREX. And it is truly a special honor to join Senator Lugar here this evening. The simple truth is that America has never produced a finer or more decent public servant than Senator Lugar. I promised Avis and Bob that I would be very brief this evening. And whenever I think of the value of brevity in public speaking, I'm reminded of a story about George Bernard Shaw, a famous author. It seems that a number of years ago, Shaw was hosting a public event in London. The first speaker came up to him and asked how long he had to speak, and Shaw replied that he really should keep his remarks to about 15 minutes. The speaker looked at him in horror and said, 15 minutes? How am I supposed to tell them everything I know in 15 minutes? And Shaw paused and responded, in your case, my advice would be to speak very slowly. In my case, you don't have to worry about me coming anywhere near 15 minutes, even if I speak very slowly. I'll start with a very straightforward statement, and that is that we gather tonight in Washington at a tremendous moment for our country. It's not only a moment of triumph for President-elect Obama, but also a moment when we've reminded ourselves and the rest of the world of what American democracy is capable of, our capacity for renewal, of our capacity for repairing the wrongs and the failings of our past, of the sense of possibility and promise that is so much a part of America. But we also gather at a moment of considerable challenges in the world around us. The world you and I face today has no shortage of troubles. It's a world dominated by a global financial crisis whose ultimate dimensions are not yet clear. A world dominated by the spreading dangers of weapons of mass destruction, new and more malignant forms of terrorism, unresolved regional and sectarian conflicts, failed and failing states, and transnational health, energy, and environmental concerns. It is a world in which American vision and American leadership are essential in crafting relations with emergent and resurgent great powers and in deepening their stake in a stable international system and in the institutions of global order. It's a world in which other people and other societies will always have their own realities, not always hospitable to ours. That doesn't mean we have to accept those perspectives or agree with them or indulge them, but it does mean that understanding them is the starting point for sensible policy. It is a world in which a little modesty in the pursuit of American interests is often a good thing, and in which there's still no substitute for setting careful priorities and connecting means to ends. It is a world in which the power of our example and of our generosity of spirit matter more than our preaching. It is a world in which our leadership should serve as a catalyst for making common cause with others. It is a world, as Secretary Rice has said, in which America has no permanent enemies, and in which tough-minded engagement of our adversaries, such as North Korea and Iran, is a sign of strength and confidence, not weakness. And it is a world, as Secretary Gates has said, in which the many instruments of American soft power must be expanded alongside the tools of hard power. And that is exactly where IREX's role is now more crucial than ever. Over the past 4 decades, beginning with an innovative set of academic exchanges between the United States and the Soviet bloc, IREX has shown vividly that private exchanges can promote understanding in ways that governments often cannot. During my 3 years as ambassador in Russia, I became convinced that programs managed by IREX are among the very best investments we've ever made in that complicated, consequential, and endlessly fascinating country. Muskie Fellows are among the 70,000 young Russian alumni of American government exchange programs now spread across Russia's 11 time zones, carrying into their own careers a better understanding of what animates Americans and America. The U.S.-Russia Volunteer Initiative has been a genuine two-way street, with young Russian and American volunteers making practical contributions in each other's societies and building goodwill. I've seen the same accomplishments by IREX in my years of service in the Middle East, which included such exceptional programs as business internships for young Middle Eastern women. In well over 100 countries around the globe, IREX is quietly promoting better understanding, one exchange at a time, in a world which cries out for more understanding and more human connections across societies. I want to thank you once again for inviting me this evening. IREX and all of you should be immensely proud of all of your accomplishments, and I wish you all another 40 years of success. Thank you very much.